Shalom, shalom. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity, risking your freedoms and your lives to do so. This is the brother Lahal coming to you with another lesson. Just going in on, or lambacking rather, on a lesson that Apostle Gabar had did, where he was talking about this guy, Coach Red Pill, who is supposed to be basically like a whistleblower, and he's speaking out against the government. So like as we do, we speak out against the atrocities that Esau Edom is planning to do, has done, and the things that's going on behind closed doors at the moment in their agenda, and how it's going to lead up to this totalitarian society, and this draconianism that a lot of American citizens and patriots can see, but the average nigga can't see, man. But it's slowly getting into that. It started with the well, far as you can see, it started with the mask mandates, with the boogeyman scare in 2020, and then slowly it started to transition into this quick VAX. Stole that from the apostle. It transitioned into the injections, man. The yob, where they're basically making anyone who was against it, no matter how much truth came out, they made them seem like they were crazy, or that they were some type of terrorist or evil and against everything that's good, which is what they're going to make people out to be, that are against it, so that they can continue their agenda. And it's something that God did say, that the apostle had brought out, and he was like, they're basically gonna come down with they're basically gonna be a hammer, which goes to show you that they were like Rome. If I can get that in Daniel, because the Roman Empire was called, they were known as iron, in the book of Daniel. They basically anything that came against them, they stomped it out. Like even when it said, as it was mentioned with Alexander, the earth was quiet before him because he had went with that great sword, conquering his enemies. But gonna grab that and Daniel. Yeah, this is Daniel's chapter 2, verse 39. It says, "And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over the earth." Because it basically, when you read the book of Daniel, if anybody knows about the beast that was resurrected, the image rather, was the breakdown of all the kingdoms, from the Babylonian kingdom to the Persians and the Medes to the Greeks, and then to the Romans. And then they got to the Roman, the new rebirth Roman Empire. But the Roman Empire was likened unto iron. And it says, verse 40, it says, "And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise." Which is that draconianism and that tyrant-like empire that he plans to come with, man. He's been doing it subtly with his laws throughout the years, but we've been noticing in these past 2 years there's been really strict on one, your travel, which is mentioned in the second Ezra, where they're gonna, start setting up checkpoints. But you weren't able to travel outside certain areas, and you had a what's known as a curfew. Those were just little things that were implemented to get people conditioned to what they're about to do. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor," which is going to show you. They're going to basically show you that you never had any types of rights, which is what the guy was getting into, and all that's going to go out the door, and it's going to be in a series of Judge Dredd like events where your judge, jury, and executioner is right there on the street, where you won't have a fair trial. You won't have a trial at all, rather. It's just going to be whatever your judgment is, it's going to be right there. And that's the reason why they're passing laws to bring back the capital punishment low key, so that they can get these things underway, man. It's not gonna be this lackadaisical society on how you see things, man. It's really just gonna be the elite, and then it's gonna be the people, man. Which is gonna be a totalitarian third world country. It says to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. All right. And a lot of people right now, this in the U.S., they have pretty much given up because they know that their freedoms are being taken away. But they're in the spirit of what can we do? Well, that guy Red Pill, he was in the spirit to flee, But at the end of the day, the Lord has given this man the fatness of the earth. There's nowhere you can flee. So that goes to show you that it's a difference between somebody that's out there speaking what I like to call part truth, or what they, the elites call conspiracy theories, and somebody speaking the truth, Because although we expose the societies, these secret societies, and the agendas that they plan to come with, we also have our plans, which is our plan A, B, and C, which is to stay behind the hand of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because at the end of the day, we know that he's going to protect us. All right? Because it says all these things are going to come, But what's going to be your plan to get up out of it? I mean, this guy's plan was to flee, and, he could have disappeared and been put to death, or, he could have gotten away, but for how much longer? It's going to get... Yeah, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 33. It says, "Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is the Most High that justifies." So we know that He's going to come with these troubles, but at the end of the day, we're going to be delivered out of them according to the promises that the Lord made unto us. And you can't, it's still the hand of the Lord that's doing it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get Psalms, and I'm going to get Baruch to prove that. Because the Lord is really doing it through E. It's the left-hand side of the Lord, So you really got to understand who's really in control. Is this Psalms 139? Yeah, this is Psalms 139. This is Psalms 139, verse 5. It says, "Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thy hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? So that's, speaking on being in good graces with you, how about me outside? And, if you're not in good graces, because, hey, it said it pleased him to bruise his own son. So if his own son, who is higher than any person ever created, could not escape the hands of the Most High, what makes you think that you can? All right. It says, whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. So the Lord is going to, hey man, the Lord is going to find you out. He's going to make it so that even in the nighttime, it's like a flashlight in the daytime spotting you, man. Whether it be for good or whether it be for evil, it depends on the deeds that you've been doing. All right, because that's what this is all about. This is the judgment that has come to the earth. All right, and everybody's on trial right now. Now we just got to see who's going to be made exempt, which is already a number that's set up, and we have an idea who they may be and what they're going to be doing, but it still has to be set into play. But it says, yeah, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reign, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. So the Lord, amen, the Lord knew who we were before we were even born or created, man. He always can see. He always knew where you were and what you were doing, what you were going to do, and what was going to happen in your life. That's the type of power that you're dealing with that you cannot escape. All right? He's the one that controls all these spirits that are on all these nations. So with that being said, fear him. All right? Just in Baruch, and then I'm going to go back to the Romans. This is Baruch 4:28. So like it's Baruch chapter 4, verse 27. It says, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. All right? So the Lord brought plagues upon his own people, man. But it says for us to cry unto him so that he can get rid of the plagues. Not to run